Alright, what is up guys, N4 here and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are going to be talking about Spiral from the Book of Saw. And before we start this thing off, man, let me just take a moment to congratulate the Saw franchise, because as of now, the Saw franchise has officially passed over the $1 billion milestone. So, congratulations to them, man. I'm not saying this movie made over $1 billion at the box office. I'm saying, like, now that this movie has come out, now officially the Saw franchise has passed over $1 billion at the box office, and that is a very impressive feat. So shout out to them, man. That's a pretty cool thing, man. But just saw the movie like an hour or two ago, so I'm just gonna do this while it's still like fresh on my head, and we're gonna talk about it, man, because people have some things to say. So I'm gonna give you guys my in-depth movie review. So yeah, man, let's hop straight into it. And also, man, if I look a bit like pale or whatever, I was trying to mess with the settings, I was trying to mess with the lights a little bit. So yeah, that's it. I didn't want to mess it up, so I figured this is probably the best I'm gonna get out of it. So yeah, but man, we're gonna be talking about Spiral from the Book of Saw, the 9th entry of the Saw franchise, and it's a lot of confusion about what this movie is, because it's not called like Saw 2, Saw 5, Saw, whatever. So a lot of people are talking, oh, is this a spin-off? Is it a continuation? And honestly, I haven't got like a clear answer. I've tried to look it up. I've tried to do the little research. Apparently, like, all the stuff that happened is canon. This is not a reboot. So no, like, if you want to know, you got to look it up for yourself, because I don't want to give you guys like false information. So definitely go look it up. If you like find like a valid answer from a valid source, let me know. But today, man, we're talking about this man right here, man. The highlight of the film. I wouldn't say the highlight, but he's like the spotlight character. He's the main character. And a lot of people were a little skeptical about Chris Rock playing in this role, because a lot of people, they're like, because Chris Rock is a comedian, okay? He does funniness, okay? So when people were like, because for those of you who don't know, what is his name? Key and Peele? Yeah, that guy. He did Us and Get Out, so he was a comedian. He transitioned to the horror movies and stuff like that. So a lot of people, they were like, okay, he did okay, alright, fine. So then Chris Rock, he was like, okay, I want to do the same thing, but I want to do it for the Saw franchise. A lot of people were just like, I don't know how I feel about that. But some scenes he's a little believable. Some scenes it's just like, nah, I can't buy into this. I can't. But I think he did well with what he had. He really wanted to do this project, this movie. It was made like a while ago, so this film has been done for a while. He's been talking about doing this for a long time. So I'm glad that he finally got the chance to do it. Now he does, say like a few funny lines. He does say like some funny stuff. Not too much, but like at times it's like, okay, dude, like this isn't a comedy, just do scary stuff, So that was probably my main concern with him. But it's not like overwhelming or anything. It's not like he's trying to do like a whole stand-up show or anything like that. It's just a few jokes, So yeah, there was that. And for all you people who love the Saw franchise, man, it's not as much blood and guts as some of the previous movies, but it's a good amount, it's cool, I don't think any of them were as bad as some of the, other movies, but they were pretty gruesome, There are some that would get you like yikes, something like that, but nothing like too terrible. It is rated R, it's not PG-13, so they didn't hold back on anything, there's no nudity or anything like that, it's just a lot of cussing, a lot of blood, stuff like that. So yeah. Also, the soundtrack for the film, it depends on if you like rap music, okay? Because this movie does have a lot of like rap to the soundtrack. Majority of the songs on here are performed by 21 Savage, so if you're not really a fan of him, you probably won't like the music and the soundtrack. But if you are, you don't really mind it, go for it. It's something. Now the movie has been getting, some rough reviews, either from, okay, it's decent, to just, wow, this movie is not good. and I think some critics are being a little rough on it. I don't think it's the best Saw film, but it's not the worst. It's definitely watchable. It'll definitely keep you engaged. So it's okay. I didn't find like it was as bad as a lot of people made it out to be. Like IGN, they gave it like a freaking 3 out of 10, which I think is kind of absurd. Um, that's why a lot of people don't really follow IGN's like reviews because they don't really give proper reviews, right? It's kind of biased, so don't really listen to them if you get your sources from IGN. But yeah, the movie was just okay. It's not the best, but it ain't terrible. Like the movie, like I say, it's been doing kind of good to just it's just an movie. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's watchable. I personally would say if you're a Saw fan, watch it. If you like some like blood and guts and gore and stuff like that, watch it. But like if you're not like a Saw fan, you don't really care for it, then just skip it. It's not really worth your time. I wouldn't really recommend it if you don't really care for the Saw franchise like that. Um, that's just me. If you want to check it out, do so yourself. You can watch it in theaters. It's doing decent, not great, but it's doing okay. It's not like a flop, but it's not doing as well as they expected it to, which is kind of a shame. Um, Also, Samuel Jackson, he's in the film. He's in all the advertisement and stuff like that. He's always a joy to watch on screen. He's always good. Has some pretty memorable lines and everything in the film. Can't really go wrong with Samuel Jackson. He's always a great screen presence. You just can't really mess him up. He's just such a like enjoyable person. He's in so many franchises, so many movies, so many iconic lines just throughout. So he's definitely a highlight for this film. Okay, now let me tell you some of the things I didn't like about the film. Like, I'm trying to be generous for the film, just because I see like this meant a lot to Chris Rock. He's been, really wanting to do this for a really long time, and he finally got to do it. So that's good for him. But although I do think that the good outweighs the bad, it's not a great film by any means. It has problems. Chris Rock in this role, like I said, a lot of people weren't really feeling it. They couldn't really buy into him in a serious role. That's kind of a problem with this one. Some scenes, like I say, he's okay in some scenes, okay, but then other scenes, it's like it's either I can't take him seriously, or it's like he's trying to be serious and it's just like he's being like unintentionally funny. So like he's trying to be like serious and it's just like he's coming off as funny instead of serious, and it's just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that's a problem with it. There are like a few like just not so interesting scenes. This movie, the theme of this film is pretty much just crooked cops. Okay, the Saw franchise definitely goes with some interesting story plots for some of their films. Like they had one movie that was just like solely based on healthcare. There's other ones where it's like, oh, you don't appreciate your life, so you have to fight if you want to live. You got to get through all the traps if you truly appreciate life. In this one, crooked cops and all that stuff. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's something. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It was okay, but it wasn't like the strongest plot ever. But it was. Alright, now I'm going to take you guys to the two things that probably made me the most angry about the film. And that being, one, the ending was far too obvious, okay? I saw that coming from a mile away. Like, it was, like, really bad. Like, a freaking 8-year-old could figure that ending out. That's how predictable that ending was. At least for me. Maybe it took you by surprise. I don't know. People think different. For me, it was just very predictable. I knew what was coming. Like, I was literally talking to the person I was with, and I'm like, yeah, that guy's gonna be, that person's gonna be the killer. And my theory was right. And Another one is there is no John Kramer in this movie. Okay, that automatically takes this movie down a notch. Um, they tried, and I understand, I get it, okay, but in the trailers and everything, I knew he wasn't gonna be in the film. They're like, oh, Jigsaw copycat, stuff like that. So I pretty much predicted that he wasn't gonna be in the film, or maybe he was, but maybe like a little small cameo or something. But man, like this movie suffered without him. He's the main attraction for the Saw franchise, and another thing that's a big attraction is the blood and the guts. That's something that the people tune in for. Like I said, there's no John Kramer. That means like this film is like automatically just gonna take a hit. The blood and guts, it delivered. Not as consistently as some of the other movies, but it was okay. It'll get you a little squeamish, because the Saw franchise is known for that now. Okay, people don't really care for the complicated plot. People don't care about the plot twist. People don't care about the characters anymore. People just want to see the death traps. People just want to see these people getting killed off. That's just the kind of world that we live in now. There's people who play Mortal Kombat, don't care for the story, they don't care for the characters either. They just want to see the fatalities. They just want to see people get killed off. That's why a lot of people just watch the Hunger Games movies. They don't care for the story, not the plot. They just want to see people fighting to the death. Why? I don't know. Maybe people are intrigued by that stuff, but the movie has some creative death traps, some welcome additions to them. Each one was pretty brutal. I don't think any of them had it like necessarily easy. Like all of them were like, oh man, like that's rough, man, that's rough. But yeah, overall the movie was solid. I think the good outweighs the bad. If I had to give it a rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being trash, like, oh my god, this is unwatchable, to 10 being flawless, I would personally give it a 6. I feel like a 5 is too low, but I feel like a 8 is too high. So I was definitely thinking around like the 6 or 7-ish range, but I think I'm gonna give it a 6. Like I said, I think the good outweighs the bad. Personally, yeah, I enjoyed it because I'm a bit biased because I'm a fan of the Saw franchise. I enjoy Chris Rock, so I'm gonna be a little biased. But the movie's not perfect. If you don't really care for the Saw franchise, you can skip this one. But if you enjoyed the video, man, feel free to drop a like on the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm in it for, and I am out.